Anxiety is one of the most common battles people face today. It's constant, quiet, and often invisible. But if you ask a Stoic philosopher what anxiety really is, they'd give you an answer that feels surprisingly modern. Anxiety isn't caused by the world. It's caused by our judgments about the world. And if you can change those judgments, you can change the way you feel. So today, I want to walk you through the Stoic cure for anxiety, a mindset that's helped people for over 2,000 years reclaim their peace from fear, worry, and overthinking. The first thing the Stoics would tell you is this: you're not anxious because life is uncontrollable. You're anxious because you're trying to control too much. Marcus Aurelius said that the closer you stay to what's within your control, the calmer you become. Anxiety grows when the mind wanders into the future, inventing problems that don't exist yet. It grows when we replay the past, trying to change something that's already over. The Stoic cure begins with shrinking your focus. Bring your attention back to what you can do right now, in this moment. When you're grounded in the present, your mind stops spinning into all the what-ifs that fuel anxiety. The next Stoic principle is to examine your thoughts instead of believing them. The Stoics taught that the mind creates unnecessary suffering when it accepts every fear as truth. Epictetus said, "You're not disturbed by things, but by your opinion about them." Anxiety often comes from catastrophic thinking, imagining the worst-case scenario and treating it like it's guaranteed to happen. But the Stoics would ask you to slow down and question your thoughts. Is this fear happening right now? Is it certain? Is it useful? When you challenge anxious thoughts instead of obeying them, they lose their grip on you. Most fears fall apart when exposed to reason. Another part of the Stoic cure is to embrace discomfort instead of running from it. Anxiety becomes stronger the more you avoid it. Stoics practiced something called voluntary discomfort, intentionally doing difficult things so they could build resilience. It wasn't about suffering. It was about learning that fear doesn't control them. Seneca said that the mind becomes stronger by facing hardship, not by escaping it. For anxiety, this means pushing yourself gently into the things you fear, proving to your mind that you can handle them. Every time you face discomfort, anxiety shrinks. Stoicism also teaches the power of negative visualization, imagining challenges before they happen. At first, this sounds strange. Why think about bad things? But the goal isn't to make you more fearful. It's to make you less afraid of the unknown. When you mentally prepare, surprises stop feeling like threats. The Stoics used this technique to remind themselves that they could handle setbacks, rejection, and uncertainty. Instead of avoiding thoughts about the future, they confronted them calmly, reminding themselves that they were capable of enduring whatever came their way. Anxiety weakens when you stop treating the future like something to be feared. Another crucial Stoic insight is acceptance, not passive surrender, but active acknowledgement of reality. Anxiety often comes from fighting what is, resisting uncertainty, resisting change, resisting things we can't influence. The Stoics believed that peace begins when you stop demanding that life be different. Accept the things outside your control so you can fully focus your energy on the things you can change. This kind of acceptance is freeing. It removes the tension in your mind and lets you move through life with more clarity and less fear. When you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, anxiety loses one of its biggest weapons. Gratitude is another powerful Stoic tool. Seneca said that we suffer more from imagination than reality, but we also forget how much good exists in our lives right now. Anxiety narrows your attention to what could go wrong, but gratitude opens it back up to what is already going right. The Stoics would take a moment every day to notice simple things: the fact that they were alive, that they had food, that they had the ability to think, move, and choose. Focusing on what you already have pulls the mind out of fear and into appreciation. Gratitude and anxiety can't dominate your mind at the same time. One of the deepest Stoic cures is learning to detach from outcomes. This doesn't mean you stop caring about your goals, it means you stop tying your self-worth to things you can't fully control. Anxiety often comes from fearing failure, embarrassment, or imperfection. But the Stoics believed in something called the dichotomy of control. You are responsible for your effort, not the result. When you focus on doing your best rather than guaranteeing success, pressure fades. You stop living in fear of what might happen, and you start living in alignment with what you can actually do. This shift clears an enormous amount of anxiety. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of perspective, reminding yourself that most of the things you worry about won't matter in a year, let alone a lifetime. Marcus Aurelius would zoom out mentally and look at his problems as if he were seeing them from far above the earth. From that distance, most fears look small and temporary. When you zoom out, you loosen the emotional weight you've placed on things that aren't truly life-defining. Perspective creates calm by putting problems back in their true size. Finally, the Stoics believed in living according to virtue, doing what is right, not what is comfortable. A lot of anxiety disappears when you trust your own character. When you know you're acting with integrity, you don't fear judgment, rejection, or uncertainty as much. Your confidence comes from who you are, not from what happens to you. Living with virtue gives you a stable foundation in a chaotic world. It reminds you that no matter how unpredictable life becomes, you can always control your actions and your attitude. The Stoic cure for anxiety isn't about eliminating fear completely. It's about changing your relationship with it. It's about reclaiming your attention from the future, questioning your fearful thoughts, building resilience through discomfort, preparing your mind through perspective, and anchoring yourself in what truly matters. Anxiety loses its power when you stop feeding it and start living with clarity, courage, and acceptance. Stoicism teaches that peace isn't something you chase, it's something you create moment by moment through the way you choose to think and act.